Former UFC star Quinton "Rampage" Jackson is finding himself in the middle of an unexpected storm as the controversy surrounding his son Raja Jackson continues to make headlines. What began as Raja's legal troubles has now spiraled into a situation where Rampage himself is facing backlash, criticism, and even death threats from angry fans online. In a recent interview with TMZ, Rampage opened up about the overwhelming pressure he's been under since the story broke. He revealed that people have been targeting him with hateful messages and even threatening his life, despite him not being directly involved in Raja's case. "All I can say is, a lot of people are giving me death threats, stuff like that. Like I'm a puppet master, calling me a bad father. It's uncalled for. Anything I say gets twisted," Rampage said, his frustration clearly visible. For Rampage, this has become a battle he never expected to face. Known for his toughness inside the Octagon, he now finds himself fighting a much different kind of opponent: public perception. Online critics have painted him as someone with hidden involvement in Raja's situation, fueling conspiracy theories and placing unfair blame on his shoulders. Rampage, however, insists he has no control over his son's actions and is simply caught in the crossfire of speculation. The negativity has taken a heavy toll on his personal life and mental well-being. Being labeled a bad father or manipulator by people who don't know the full story has left him exhausted. He admitted that while he cannot share every detail about the ongoing case, the level of harassment and abuse he's enduring is far beyond reasonable. Meanwhile, Raja's legal situation remains unclear. No official charges have yet been confirmed, and the silence from authorities has only added fuel to speculation. Fans and media outlets continue to watch closely, keeping Rampage's name tied to the narrative whether he likes it or not. For Rampage Jackson, this situation is no longer about just defending his reputation, it's about protecting his family and his peace of mind. Having already lived through the highs and lows of a grueling MMA career, Rampage now faces what could be one of his toughest battles yet, not inside the cage, but outside it, where words, rumors, and threats cut just as deeply as any punch or kick. Moving to another news. After a dominant 25-minute performance against Dricus du Plessis at UFC 319 to capture the middleweight title, Khamzat Chimaev has taken a massive leap in the pound-for-pound rankings. He climbed 10 spots to land at number 4, but according to former double champion Daniel Cormier, that's still not high enough. Cormier believes Khamzat should already be ranked number 3, ahead of current bantamweight king Merab Dvalishvili. Speaking in a recent conversation with Chael Sonnen, Cormier broke down his reasoning. He argued that the true essence of pound-for-pound greatness lies in the ability for a fighter's style to transcend multiple divisions. In his view, Merab has remained exclusively at bantamweight, showing consistency and dominance but not versatility. On the other hand, Khamzat has displayed elite success in multiple weight classes. At welterweight, he was already on the verge of a title shot. When he moved up to middleweight, he didn't just compete, he became champion. Cormier emphasized that Khamzat's journey has been nothing short of remarkable. Along the way, he defeated Kamaru Usman, the long-reigning welterweight king, while climbing the ranks. That victory alone, combined with his middleweight championship run, sets him apart from others. For Cormier, that's enough to justify placing him above Merab, right alongside Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria. It's an interesting debate, especially considering Makhachev, who currently sits at number 2, has yet to compete in another division. However, Islam is expected to move up later this year and challenge Jack Della Maddalena for the welterweight title after vacating his lightweight strap. If that fight happens, it could dramatically shift the conversation once again. Another key factor strengthening Khamzat's case is his undefeated record. He currently stands at 15-0 overall, with a perfect 9-0 run in the UFC. The criticism, however, is his level of activity. In 5 years with the promotion, Khamzat has only fought 9 times. By contrast, Merab has been one of the most active fighters on the roster. He's riding an incredible 13-fight win streak with 2 title defenses already secured and is preparing for his 3rd defense against Corey Sandhagen at UFC 320. Ultimately, the debate comes down to what fans and analysts value more: dominance across multiple divisions, even with fewer fights, or consistency and longevity in one weight class. For Daniel Cormier, the answer is clear. Khamzat Chimaev's ability to conquer 2 divisions, defeat champions, and remain undefeated makes him more than deserving of a higher spot on the pound-for-pound list. Moving on, in other news, fight fans, the moment everyone has been waiting for has finally arrived. After weeks of speculation, the lightweight division picture is beginning to clear, and now it's official. Ilia Topuria will defend his title against Justin Gaethje at UFC 324. This matchup has been brewing ever since Arman Tsarukyan revealed that he was not next in line for the belt. That announcement immediately sparked rumors and heated debates within the MMA community. Now the speculation has ended, thanks to the confirmation from one of the most respected voices in Spanish combat sports media, journalist Alvaro Colmenero. Colmenero, the director of ABC MMA and a commentator for Eurosport's UFC coverage, has long been regarded as one of the most trusted insiders in the sport. Known for consistently breaking news on Ilia's fights before they become official, his credibility rivals that of Ariel Helwani, though with less controversy. His track record speaks volumes, having accurately reported Ilia's clash with Charles Oliveira and other major bouts. When Colmenero makes a claim, it's not mere speculation, it's fact. On his latest YouTube broadcast, Colmenero confirmed the bombshell. Ilia Topuria will step into the Octagon against Justin Gaethje this January at UFC 324. According to insiders, the UFC had originally considered delaying Ilia's next appearance until 2026 to align with the new Paramount broadcasting deal, but the opportunity to book Gaethje proved too good to pass up. Stylistically, this fight favors the champion. Gaethje, though still a dangerous and respected legend, is nearing the end of his career. The UFC sees him as the perfect opponent to keep Ilia's momentum rolling while delivering fans a blockbuster matchup. This strategy isn't new for the organization. Throughout history, the UFC has built its stars by pairing them with out-of-prime veterans, a formula that provides both hype and legitimacy. Make no mistake, Gaethje remains a fan favorite and one of the most explosive fighters in the division, but the timing clearly works in Ilia's favor. UFC executives understand the delicate balance of protecting their stars while also offering high-profile fights that fans are willing to pay for. The decision to book the bout in January rather than December is also strategic. December has rarely been a major month for UFC cards, so the promotion is saving Ilia for a New Year's showcase, ensuring 2025 begins with a massive headliner. While names like Paddy Pimblett and Arman Tsarukyan remain in the mix for future opportunities, the UFC believes now is the perfect moment for Ilia versus Gaethje. UFC 324 is shaping up to be one of the most anticipated cards in recent memory, and Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje will be the fight that kicks off the new year with explosive energy. The lightweight division just got a whole lot more exciting. Moving on in other news, Islam Makhachev has recently found himself at the center of debate, with many fans suggesting he showed hesitation when the topic of a potential clash with Khamzat Chimaev was raised. The discussion sparked when Magomed Ankalaev, the newly crowned UFC light heavyweight champion, was asked about the possibility of facing Khamzat if the Chechen star ever moved up to 205 pounds. Khamzat has hinted at such a move multiple times, and Ankalaev responded with confidence. He made it clear that the door is always open for anyone who wants to test themselves in the light heavyweight division. Ankalaev further admitted that at some point in his career, he too might move up to heavyweight. However, for now, his focus remains solely on defending his belt at 205. His firm stance and confidence in welcoming challengers drew immediate praise from fans and analysts alike. His words were seen as the embodiment of a fearless champion, one who never shies away from competition. This attitude was quickly compared to that of Islam Makhachev, who recently addressed the possibility of fighting Khamzat. Instead of mirroring Ankalaev's fearless tone, Islam leaned toward avoiding unnecessary conflict. His initial response was to downplay the idea, emphasizing that he did not want to create tension between their people or teams. To many fans, this came across as backpedaling, and it sparked a wave of criticism online. Social media lit up with comparisons. Ankalaev was praised as a proud, fearless fighter who represents what a champion should be, while Islam faced accusations of being overly cautious or even fearful of what a fight with Khamzat might bring. But a deeper look reveals another side of the story. In Caucasus culture, respect and unity are held in the highest regard. For Islam, his words weren't about fear, but about protecting the cultural and communal bonds that go beyond the Octagon. Fans may have interpreted it as hesitation, but for him, it was about honoring something larger than personal ambition. The debate, however, began with Khamzat himself, who publicly called out Islam and declared his intention to take the pound-for-pound crown. This sparked speculation and heated discussions among fans about who would truly prevail if the two ever met inside the cage. Meanwhile, Ankalaev has kept his focus on the present. In addition to addressing Khamzat, he also shared his readiness for a potential rematch with Alex Pereira, emphasizing that he has no fear of challenges. With his growing confidence, openness to fight anyone at 205, and even aspirations of moving to heavyweight one day, Ankalaev has solidified his reputation as one of the division's most respected voices. As the debate continues, Islam finds himself under pressure, while Ankalaev stands out as the fighter fans are rallying behind a contrast that keeps fueling the conversation about who is truly the fearless champion. Moving on, another news. More shocking details have surfaced in the ongoing Roger Jackson case, and the situation continues to grow darker by the day. Multiple wrestlers have now come forward, alleging that management at Knox Pro Wrestling instructed them not to cooperate with law enforcement. According to these claims, wrestlers were specifically told to remain silent, avoid direct communication with police, and leave interactions only to designated individuals. This behavior has been described by many within the wrestling community as not only dishonest, but downright disgusting. Witnesses revealed that when police first arrived to investigate the incident, shortly after Psycho Stu was removed from the scene, leadership at Knox Pro made clear efforts to restrict cooperation and keep critical information hidden. Critics argue that this is more than shady, it could cross into illegal territory. One blunt remark circulating online summed up the outrage: "You let your friend almost die and now you're trying to cover it up." Screenshots have also emerged showing messages that were reportedly circulated among wrestlers. These messages instructed them to stay out of social media comment sections regarding the tragedy, warning that posts could be weaponized in criminal or civil cases. Another directive told members to immediately notify management if contacted by law enforcement or attorneys, with wrestlers replying "Yes, sir," showing compliance with the orders. Amid this controversy, wrestler Doug Mallow, the man credited with pulling Roger Jackson off Psycho Stu during the attack, has publicly accused Rampage Jackson of facing lawsuits tied to the ordeal. Mallow directly called out Rampage, accusing him of hiding behind his son's life while chaos unfolds. In an emotional statement, he even proposed turning the hostility into something constructive, a boxing match. "You'll probably whoop my ass, and I don't care," Mallow said. "You raise money for your son's defense, and I'll raise money for Stu." His challenge was both raw and heartfelt, channeling anger into an opportunity to support victims of the tragedy. Meanwhile, wrestler Stuart Smith, known to fans as Psycho Stu, has finally spoken out after the brutal attack that left him hospitalized. In his first public message, he expressed immense gratitude for the love and support he has received. His brother confirmed that Stu is conscious, regaining memory of the attack, but facing a long and difficult recovery due to severe head injuries. Stu's wife has now launched an official GoFundMe, ensuring that 100% of donations will go directly to his recovery. The wrestling community has rallied in extraordinary fashion, showing overwhelming love and solidarity. Despite the pain ahead, Stu's resilience remains strong. For him, this battle is not only about wrestling, it is about family, survival, and the determination to fight back. Finally, UFC President Dana White has always been outspoken about the way he runs the organization, and recently he shed light on why he has no hesitation when it comes to cutting ties with sponsors, even if it costs the UFC millions of dollars. Critics often accuse the UFC of doing whatever it takes to maximize profits, but White argues otherwise. According to him, money isn't everything if it comes with unnecessary headaches. "I'd rather leave cash on the table than deal with sponsors that make life miserable," he explained. Sponsorships have long been a polarizing topic in the UFC, from the decision to ban fighters' individual sponsors inside the cage to high-profile corporate deals like the one with Bud Light. White revealed that he once dropped a major sponsor that was paying big money because they were too difficult to work with during the woke era. He made it clear that no amount of money could bring them back. There are plenty of other sponsors out there. Maybe they don't pay as much, but life is better without the stress. White's comments highlight his belief in independence. The UFC doesn't need to bow to sponsors' demands if it compromises the organization's culture and values.